The draft is now officially open.
Sacked! Oh, man. He's in! Touchdown! Intercepted. It's picked off. Boy, where did that come from? He's going to score. You kidding me? He did it again. Oh, my! He's gone. It's a foot race. I told you he's going to do it.
The Cleveland Browns are on the clock.
Yeah, you know what time it is. That's right. Welcome to NFL Mock Draft Live, presented by Verizon. I'm Cole Wright, and over the next 2 hours, our panel of 8 NFL experts, well, they're going to make 32 picks in a preview of what could happen this Thursday night in Philadelphia, PA. That's when NFL Network will bring you live coverage of the first round of the 2017 NFL Draft, and it starts at 8 p.m. So without further ado, let's meet our illustrious panel of GMs. We like to keep things casual around here for this program. And you see everyone, they have their notes, they've done their due diligence, and everyone is ready to go. We're going picks 1 through 32. And now it's time for some introductions. I can't lie. I feel like Russell Simmons at a Def Jam meeting right here. So let's get things underway. And we'll start with our guy, Daniel Jeremiah. He's an NFL media expert. You're going to be drafting for the Browns at 1 and 12, and the Bucs at 19, and the Chiefs at 27, my man. You ready to roll?
I got a lot of work to do. Always be scared of the guy that's relaxed, and MJD looks very relaxed right now.
Apparently you, Cynthia, and Bucky Brooks are the only ones who came to work, only ones with computers out here. But what do I know? What do I know? Let's stay on this side of the table. Former 49ers head coach Steve Mariucci. You're going to be making that second selection for the San Francisco 49ers. Also, the Bengals at 9, the Lions at 21. And getting some bad flashbacks with the Lions, and the Packers are feeling pretty good about you.
Man, come on.
Picking 29th, you'll have that selection as well, Mooch.
But I brought my computer, too, right here. Old school.
Right? If you had a fedora, there would be a sticker in the side that said press written right on the side. Cynthia Freeland, another NFL media expert. We're going to get to you in just a second, but we're going to bounce across the table and talk about my guy, Bucky Brooks. You're going to be picking number 3 for the Chicago Bears, the Bills at number 10, and the Redskins 17, the Texans at number 25. Are you ready to go there?
I'm ready to go. I'm trying to make some better picks this year.
Last year didn't work out so well for you.
No, not so much. But I'm hoping we get a nice little montage so I can see my whole name on the back of my name.
All right, I like that. We got something in store for you.
The whole
you won't
It's my
be
favorite time
disappointed,
of the
my
year.
man. You won't be
Big shoulder
disappointed.
pads we had.
That's right. All right. Now, the Jaguars, they picked number 4, and their second all-time leading rusher, MJD. He picks for them at number 4. Arizona at 13. The Raiders, the team he ended his career with, they're going 24. You'll pick for them. The Dallas Cowboys at number 28.
Yeah, we're ready to go. It's simple. We already
Plain
know
and
we got-
simple.
Yeah, we know.
Plain and simple. You're not beating around the bush?
No, we're not playing.
By the way, that pen has no ink, and there are no notes.
No notes. It's all right here.
The good old, it's right
It's all right here.
The original computer.
I like that.
Is where we're going with.
It's like an abacus, folks.
That's right.
Now we go back to Cynthia Freeland. She's our analytics expert. She's going to pick for the Titans at 5 and at 18, then the Saints at 11, as well as 32. So you only have 2 teams to focus on, Cynthia.
Right, but I still have 4 picks. So
You crunched some numbers, correct? Crunch some numbers.
Oh,
safe
lots
to
of
say.
numbers. I'm still kind of going through his notes here and cheating.
Quit
too.
cheating.
If I had to go with
Look at my
anybody,
paper.
I may have to go with her because the numbers, that they do speak the truth. So we will see how things shake out here. There's 2 hours ahead of us. Now, will Colleen Wolfe take a quarterback for the Jets at 6? She'll also pick for her hometown Eagles. You got to call them the Eagles, right, Colleen?
The Eagles?
That's what they call them there?
Yeah, you can do that.
All right. Maybe not. At 14, then the
Go ahead,
Dolphins at
do that,
22.
Cole.
And the Falcons at 31. No throwing of batteries at Santa Claus in Philadelphia this year.
No,
Will it
come
be?
on, don't bring that up again. That's a no.
You think batteries at Santa Claus?
No. It's something that happened years ago. It's behind us.
I don't
That
think
was
her
her
mom.
even alive.
Yeah, right.
Everybody's really well behaved now.
Yeah.
Colleen wasn't even alive then. She's way too young for
The
that.
love in that
right,
city is
everybody.
brotherly nowadays, right?
Yeah.
It's a 2017 Philadelphia, PA. Good to know, Colleen. All right, Dave Damashek. He's going to pick for the Chargers at number 7.
so serious?
The Colts, he does look very serious. Very stoked right there.
He's ready to go.
Colts
I
at
know he's
15,
ready.
It's a
Broncos
wise
at
peer.
20, and those Seahawks at 28. I'm going to take a page from your vernacular. What's the poop, my man?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm glad for the opportunity. The fraudulent business of scouting that has
Here we
allowed
go.
Tony Romo and Kurt Warner
Glares from DJ and Bucky.
and Tom Brady and everyone
we
else
go.
to slip through the cracks. It's time to right the ship. Damashek's here to do it.
We
And
go
he's got
from
notes to
one-
prove it.
He does.
Already.
Yeah, he did.
like 3 minutes
He did
in.
talk in third
Third
person.
person.
He's from Pittsburgh, and since we're on that Pittsburgh train, let's go over to our guy, the two-time Super Bowl champ, Ike Taylor. Going to pick for the Panthers at number 8, my man. The Ravens at 16, the G-Men at 23, and your Steelers at number 30, my man.
Yep, all them good picks.
How you gonna pick for the Ravens?
I was going to say, sabotage the
I know,
Ravens.
it's
Pick for the Ravens. That's your rival.
Yeah.
Me and Coach Mooch had a conversation in the green room. If he get picked up, I need to go with him. So I got to be on my best behavior right now.
This is an audition for you.
No question.
All right. All right, well, let's get the ball rolling. Now that we're all settled in, nice, comfy, and cozy, let's get things ramped up. Now, each one of these GMs, they're going to have 45 seconds to make their pick. That's before we put the Browns on the clock. And we're going to go back to what they've done recently in drafts past. So, as we know, things really haven't worked out terrifically for them. Trent Richardson, you see right there, Brandon Weeden, 22nd overall, and then Barkevious Mingo, 6th overall back in 2013. Justin Gilbert, 8th pick, 2014. You see a string going on here. Oh, no, Johnny Manziel. What's he yelling right there? Who knows? Danny Shelton, 12th overall in 2015. And, well, Cam Irving. Things have played out quite nicely. And Corey Coleman, 15th overall in 2016. They hold the 1st and the 12th picks in the 2017 NFL Draft, and they are now on the clock. Daniel Jeremiah, you're picking first, my man.
Yeah, I'm not going to need all 45 seconds here. Quarterback, no. We're not doing a quarterback.
You're not going
That's not
Trubisky?
happening. No, we're not doing that. When I look at building a defense, to me the most valuable position is to have an edge rusher, to have a pass rush. And you look at the teams that have won championships. I look at a team like the Giants with a couple championships, build it up front. Last year, Emmanuel Ogbah did a nice job, right?
Yeah.
Came in there 5.5 sacks. He's 6'4", 273 pounds, and he ran a 4.63. I'm going to go get Myles Garrett from Texas A&M, 6'4", 272 pounds, ran 4.64. I've got two athletic dudes coming off the edge now. We're going to fix Cleveland, and we're going to do it up front on defense.
What about Only thing fixing Cleveland is LeBron.
I haven't seen Myles Garrett before.
Our quarterback will be playing in college.
If the Browns screw this
he's
one
still
up,
playing.
I mean, they don't have the track record in drafting that the Ravens or Pittsburgh or any of the successful teams have. They cannot go off the board with this pick with the QB. They would be insane to do this. Yes. No. Right?
This is like you wearing that black polo today, Dave. There's no decision to be made. It's obvious.
Slimming. It's very slimming. Thank you.
It looks great, Shaq. Looks great.
It does. It does look terrific on Mr. Damashek. Now, next on the clock, that's Coach Mariucci. He has the 4th most wins in the history of the San Francisco 49ers. So let's take a look back at Mooch back in the day. Hold on to your hats.
All righty, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's have some fun here, Steve Young. Let's have some fun. Let's run that for the touchdown. Brown right, F left, 65 lead. Let's go get it. Now that's defense. That's defense. Nice job. And up, baby. Did he get it? Did he get it? No, come on, Manucci. That's the first time that's been called in this league in 47 years. Oh. Yeah. Oh. This is fun, Steve Young. Woo! 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 That's it! Woo! Woo! Hey, Cole. So
how about that?
First time it's been called in 47 years. I was on the official. You know what it was? He called a delay game on our kicker on the opening kickoff. We didn't even start the game yet. Okay, so San Francisco 49ers, I'm going to need more time than 45 seconds. So are they. They're going to use up the whole clock, aren't they? Because they're going to wait for that phone to ring. They're going to want to get out of here because they have bigger fish to fry. They have all kinds of needs, but I don't think the phone's going to ring. So they're going to make them pick number 2. Well, here's the defense. The defense. Robert Saleh. I played with his uncle, Doc Saleh, at Northern Michigan University. We won the championship, okay? Anyway.
No chance you get this done in 20 seconds.
He says, hey, we got to improve our defense. We'll get a quarterback later. We'll get all our other needs later. But right now, there are a lot of defensive players on the board. Harbaugh was in the top 5 scoring defense every year because he had a great defense. Where's everybody going? They need to rebuild that whole thing. Well, you're talking about some candidates over there, and they drafted early. Defensive lineman, right? Eric Armstead.
Yep.
From Oregon. DeForest Buckner. Oregon guys. Well, let's stay with the Pac-12, okay? Because Solomon Thomas, he's a game changer. I had him for a whole day. I love that. Solomon Thomas from Stanford, right across the bay, right there. He's right there. And he's a great kid. This guy's going to be one of their captains someday. He's a great kid. You talk about a 4.69. He can play inside, give you some pass wiggle. He can play outside. He's a versatile guy, great character guy. I love Solomon Thomas from Stanford for the Niners.
A lot of people in agreement, Mooch. You had him at Game Changers. He's going to make an impact.
Yeah, I had him all day long. He's something else. Great kid. I love him.
Big Star Wars fan. I'm sure that's going to apply somewhere on the field, too.
Wow, that's a nice nugget there.
Yeah, how about that?
I have
fun fact for you guys.
He's been training at the Dagobah system.
Tell you that.
I like
right.
it. That was nice.
One yoga
Star
he
Wars.
has been. So
I didn't have that in my notes.
we're going Miles Garrett at
I
one.
have Star Wars.
Solomon Thomas at number 2. And Bucky Brooks, you're going to my hometown, Chicago, Illinois, picking for the Bears at number 3. Who you got, my man?
Man, I'm excited about the Chicago Bears and what we're trying to do. We got a quarterback in Mike Glennon, so that takes us out of the quarterback mix. We want to improve that defense. Having spent some time with John Fox, we value being a very, very competitive and physical defense. Mooch took a guy that had my eye on, Solomon Thomas, because as Daniel alluded to, when we're building a defense, you have to start with the pass rusher. Solomon Thomas would have been a nice fit. But if I can't get a pass rusher, then I need to have a playmaker, someone who can cover. I'm going to go to the outside because I'm looking at the depth chart, and I have Prince Amukamara at one corner. I want better. I have Kyle Fuller, who has underperformed as a first-round pick. So I'm going to go and get Marshawn Lattimore from The Ohio State University, and I'm going to let him be my number 1 corner. And when you look at this player on tape, I call him the natural. Smooth and fluid, nice instincts, ball skills. He has a toolbox that is full of tools where he can do everything that we want to do in this defense. In this division, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, you have to deal with some premier quarterbacks, and even Sam Bradford, who is really on the come-up in Minnesota. I need to have someone that can play, get the ball back from my offense that is going to be more dynamic. Lattimore's the pick.
Oh, man, you don't like Marlon Humphreys?
I mean, not at 3. I don't like Marlon Humphrey at 3. I don't like him at 3. I can't do that. I considered getting a safety, but because the safety class is a little deep, I think at the top of the second round I can get somebody.
You don't like Jonathan Allen?
Not for what I want to do. I want to be great.
And you're still, are you going to be great with McGloin?
Yeah, Matt Glennon.
Yeah,
Matt Glennon,
Matt
yeah, we
Glennon.
could be great with him.
Okay.
We're going to set it up.
You learned
Mike
this in
Glennon?
Green Bay, Buck, right?
Mike
From
Glennon.
Ron
Mike
Wolf. You got to win your division. You got to play against the guys in your division. You need to cover guys against guys like Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford. You got to have some cover guys in that division. Otherwise, you got no chance.
That's right. Chicago Bears are looking to get back to their defensive ways immediately, if not soon. Now, the ball keeps rolling here, and he's one of the greatest Jaguars of all time. But is he ready to pass that torch to another running back?
Fred Taylor's here.
Draft Leonard Fournette and send him to Duval County.
James Stewart.
That's right.
James Stewart in the building.
Look, it's Donovan Darius.
It's been seen. Jeff Lagerman. Where's Jeff Lagerman at?
MJD.
Jeff Lagerman.
Disrespectful.
Not at all.
David Garrard.
Welcome back inside Mock Draft Live, presented by Verizon. And you see picks 1 through 3 so far has DJ, Mooch, and B-Double taking Myles Garrett, Solomon Thomas, and Marshawn Lattimore, respectively, to Cleveland, San Francisco, and Chicago. Number 4 on the clock, it's the Jaguars. And you see a whole rogues gallery of players out here. And since we're going to Duval County, that reminds me, Maurice Jones-Drew spent some time there. Have a look.
By the Jaguar, addicted to the end zone. Now he's on with Damashek. Yeah, that's his new home. Some call him Maurice. We all call him MJD. MJD.
I love it.
Sexy indeed.
Hot fire.
Sexy.
Hot fire, man.
That picture, they caught my good side.
Was
So
that
I
Dylan?
appreciate that.
Was that Dylan on the track?
No question.
Dylan.
All right, with the
fifth power.
Jaguars coming up, I'm torn because we need help on the offensive line, but I can't take offensive lineman at 4. I would like someone to call up, let us trade back a couple picks, get probably offensive lineman in the back, middle of the first round. But since we can't do that, Mooch, and I want to go what you would like too, so I'm going to do great with this pick as well. I'm going to get a guy who can help both in the passing game and the running game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. O.J. Howard, tight end.
Wow.
Right now. Get the best guy, best my guy.
It's a great pick.
My guy.
I wanted to go defense, but we paid so much money in free agency. What's the reason?
Oh, that's
all that money
Yeah, no,
everywhere.
you-
Wow.
no,
The guy
no,
who can help
Football,
my-
perfect.
I love O.J. Howard.
That's a nice pick. But you know what? You know what you're gonna do, right? Mercedes Lewis is blowing up your phone.
Who cares?
Because you just cost them.
No,
You just cost them again.
No, I didn't.
They just signed Rivera.
Because everybody's going to the 2 tight end set.
So now you got 3.
Rivera's in the big slot.
Here's
He's not gonna
the
be in
amazing
line.
thing about O.J. Howard. So I went and saw him play in the championship game against Clemson last year, not this most recent one. He tears it up. I thought for sure he was coming out, but then at Alabama they said, "Come back, we're going to feature you in the offense." They threw in the ball 10 more times this year than they did last year. I mean, he was done a disservice.
Actually,
But this is I like
come
this
to
pick.
Jacksonville.
I like this pick. Going all the way back to Tom Coughlin. Tom Coughlin is a big believer in 2 tight ends, 2 tight end sets. If you go and look at his history, he's always had multiple tight ends that can play. You get O.J. Howard, a guy that can control the middle of the field with the young receivers and playmakers they have out there. That helps Blake Bortles.
Now they need to go get Jay Cutler or Colin Kaepernick to back up Blake Bortles in case the kid doesn't make it. They owe it to the fans already and that nice defense.
These
that
are
they're
good
building.
picks. So when's Damashek up? We got to get this thing kind of shaken up a little bit.
He's coming
I
up
don't
soon.
understand
Coming up soon. I like that pick, though, MJD. O.J. Howard in Duval County, a big tight end with a big presence down there for Blake Bortles. Now, I like the intro as well, and you're not the only one with an intro. Cynthia Freeland, hers is up next.
Ooh, my intro's amazing.
It's Marianne's daughter here to steal the show. Back in the day, she had a mullet with the funky flow. Running marathons for her fitness goals. On the DDFP, she got the stat control. Cause when it comes to the numbers, she's a gunslinger. She do the math in her head, she don't count fingers. No one to question the numbers, she'll erase to you. She's from Michigan, yo, it's Cynthia.
Red bottom, Cynthia.
That's legit.
That is awesome.
I hate you, Shaq.
I
hate you.
We've been there for 2 years. Miss Cynthia come through and she get a whole production.
That's because you guys fly in and out. You're
I
never
tried to take
here.
that visor when I saw it the other day, too. In the pod
Red
studio.
bottoms and your own intro video.
Yeah.
Red bottoms and your own
That was my choice.
Now I know why.
That was my editorial choice. The Red Bottoms.
How about that? You're on the clock, picking for the Titans. Number 5, Cynthia, go.
I think the best player in this whole draft is available for me right now. I'm taking Jamal Adams.
No!
Dick LeBeau, he called. I think Dick LeBeau likes him some LSU defensive backs. I mean, this guy is about as well-rounded as they come. If you look at his stats, because that's what I do, over the past 3 years, he saw a steady improvement all 3 years. You almost never see the kind of less missed tackles, and people knew he was really good. That you don't always see that. So for me, he's good in coverage. He's good against the run. I mean, I don't know. If I had to pick who I think the best draft prospect is overall, who's going to be most successful soonest, I think it's Jamal Adams.
Well, he's-
and I'm taking him.
He's a natural leader. He's a, and we just talked about this. He's a LeBeau profile kind of guy. He's
Sure
an
is.
old school, hit you in the mouth, tackling. Football is his passion.
You might know
kinda guy.
something about that. Huh?
Well,
Just a
reports
little
out
bit.
of LSU are that he comes and takes over the meetings right away. Like he
like
comes
a
in as a
twin
big,
He can.
big
Around?
He can.
alpha male.
Yeah.
The people at LSU, somebody at LSU who's been there for 20 years said this is the best leader he's ever been around at LSU.
That speak volumes right there.
I'm really
and
bummed
you
out
need
by
that at the
this.
safety position.
Why are you bummed out
I
about that,
really
Colleen?
wanted him.
Really like my pick.
Wanted him for the Jets. Shoot.
Shame.
Luckily,
For
they have
shame,
some
for shame. So
other needs.
5 picks off the board and
Right.
3 guys coming out of that Southeastern Conference. Up next, it's Gang Green, the Jets, and they're on the clock. And picking a quarterback, well, that would be nothing new for them because they picked the most play callers of any team since 2011. Out of Alabama, you see Greg McElroy. Then it was Geno Smith, second-round pick in 2013. He had a game where he threw like 8 touchdowns. And it's Taj Boyd, 6th-round pick in 2014. Bryce Petty. The list, it appears to go on. And then Christian Hackenberg. Is he ready just yet? Who knows? Second-round pick in 2016. And you see him right there. They're all right there in their full color and glory. And Colleen, you're on the clock. Time for you to make your pick for the Jets.
All right. Well, I'm not going quarterback here at all. I know. I know they need a quarterback desperately.
How many quarterbacks they got?
Listen, they have 3 right now. They have
Too
Josh
many.
McCown, he's 37 years old. They have Bryce Petty, who's recovering from labrum surgery, and they have Christian Hackenberg, who hasn't played a single snap.
He's recovering.
Right. So he's
And
recovering too.
besides, an NFL team wouldn't just keep going back to the well at one position, well,
Over.
except the line
And over.
and wide receivers. Sorry. Sorry. Back to
Why
you.
they give you a hard time, Coach?
So I'm not going to go out there and pick another young guy who's going to go behind this offensive line that I'm not sold on. Just throw him out there. It's not fair. If you can't run the ball or if you can't catch the ball, I hope you can run the ball. I'm going with a running back. He's still on the board. I'm going Leonard Fournette from LSU. Back-to-back LSU guys here. And look, I know they have needs at pass rusher. They need corners. They need safeties. But when you have Leonard Fournette still on the board, you got to take him there. And I like this pick.
Ooh, I like it too.
I'm glad you like it. Sure pick.
Listen, I'm happy with it. Look, Cynthia took Jamal Adams, so this is the next one up.
Well, I think Leonard Fournette, for what they want to do, especially in New York, he's going to be the best running back. A guy who, we talked about it, Bucky and DJ, a guy who's going to, your 4-minute style of back. You give him the ball in the fourth quarter, it's going to be hard to tackle him. I mean, I think it's a great pick.
Here's one of my things about Fournette that everybody hits him on, right? He's not going to help the passing game, is what everybody says about him, right? But what you forget about is every team that I talk to says, Leonard Fournette's going to scare that safety down in the box, and we're going to be effective in the passing game because of Leonard Fournette, where he's not going to be the one catching the ball, but he'll have an impact in the passing game.
And I think if you watched him at his pro day, he catches the ball better than most people give him credit for. I think he could be an integral part of the passing game.
Yeah, and
maybe
he lost that water weight, so he's looking good now. He's svelte. He's ready to go.
Get it? Yeah.
That's a grown man.
More than meets the eye with Leonard Fournette. He's a grown man. He had a beard when he was 9 years old. He's going to the Jets. And with the number 6 pick, says Colleen Wolfe. Now it's time for Dave Dameshek. You guys asked a little bit earlier.
Now
Dave,
it starts.
You're picking number 7. And those Chargers, boy, oh boy, do they need to make a splash.
Well, first of all, in the AFC West, we're just a year and a half removed from the Broncos winning the Lombardi. The Raiders could have won it last year had Derek Carr not gone down. The Chiefs always competitive with Andy Reid. But a storm is gathering in sunny Los Angeles. Hear me now, believe me later. Here come the L.A. Chargers. That defense is for real. It's about to get for realer. Malik Hooker at safety now to go along with Bosa and Melvin Ingram and Denzel Perriman and so on and so forth. That defense is loaded. That team is going to be terrific.
Verrett back healthy.
Yeah, right.
Casey
Hayward went to the Pro Bowl.
In that Gus Bradley 4-3 system, you need somebody that can roam the middle, that Earl Thomas guy. There you have it. I mean, that's all you're looking for, a guy who can go get the ball. That's what you want. You want a guy who can cover sideline to sideline from the middle of the field. If you get that, cover 3 works every day, all day.
I compared him to Ed Reed early on, and to me, just how easy Ed made it, being around him for 4 years, everything was smooth and easy, a stroll in the park. You see the same thing when you watch Hooker.
Phil Rivers will be pleased that he didn't depart Los Angeles when he initially wasn't excited about it. I think he's going to be glad he stuck
You
around.
have the best schedule.
I mean, they're in Costa Mesa.
Yeah.
Battle for the hearts and minds of Southern California. I think they win it over the Rams in 2017.
Yeah.
Well, Mock Draft Live is getting real. My man Dave Dameshek, he's over here making Hans and Franz references. And still to come on Mock Draft Live, we're going to pump you up because we're going to keep it rolling. My man Ike, he's picking next, number 8 for Carolina. And there still are some of those quarterbacks on the board. Where are they going to go? You're going to find out next right here. Stick around.
Trubisky down the field to Hollins. Touchdown. Keeps it himself. Give him 6. He's going to rifle it. Oh, Trubisky's still on his feet. Touchdown. Easy as pie on that one.
To the NFL flies through Philadelphia. The 2017 NFL Draft. And for the first time, it's entirely outdoors. NFL Network is live with all access to the future of the NFL. The 2017 NFL Draft, live from Philly, starting April 27th on NFL Network.
And now, before the actual draft on Thursday, everyone will be waiting to see what Philly's other favorite son has to say. That's when Mike Mayock does his one and only mock draft of the year. Mayock's Mock Draft, presented by Pizza Hut, Wednesday, 8 o'clock on NFL Network. And next up on our mock draft, That's my Monday Night Total Access endgame teammate, my guy, Ike Taylor.
Born in Gretna, that's in New Orleans. While counting college, drafted to PA. Number 24 has got opinions for days. I-K-E-T-A-Y-L-O-R. Ike Taylor.
You got a name for that?
Very fitting. Spelling it out.
That dance is called Keep Trying.
That was like a different world. That was like the show A Different World, kind of a similar tune.
A little bit. Well, how about number 8, Ike? You are on the clock, my man.
On the
I'm
clock.
going to spell this out for you.
I got 45 seconds.
45. And counting.
We still have a guy on this board nobody picked up because I'm about to pick him up. Guy went to Alabama, man. Was the foundation to this defense. If you ask anybody in this locker room at Alabama who was the stud, they're going to say this guy, he was a natural leader. A lot of guys been having success off of this guy. If you just look at the Alabama tape, Alabama, they don't blitz a lot. They do a 4-man rush. So that's why you have linebackers running free. That's why you have cornerbacks making tackles early. That's why you got everybody hitting, man. We talk about it all the time, man. How you going to build your house? You're going to build your house from the ground up.
Yeah.
And that's the defensive line. So when I'm looking at this draft board, and I got an opportunity to work out with this guy, Jonathan Allen from Alabama. He can be inside, he can be outside. Whatever technique you want to use for this guy, you can use him. Man, if you just watch the tape on Jonathan Allen, man, he did a little bit of everything, man. He played outside, he played inside, but I keep talking about these other guys. He made the other guys better. So Superman just entered and left the building at 280. Jonathan Allen is a monster. I think he's going to help my team, the Carolina Panthers. I'm so glad y'all didn't pick him up.
You said you worked out with him? His
No
shoulder's
question.
good, right?
Yeah.
Good.
I didn't work out with him, but I had him for a day over at Game Changers, all right? Down at Exo San Diego. What a stud this kid is. He can play. Look at this guy.
But you had everybody at Game Changers.
Had everybody, man. And you know, the guy built his own computer like Cynthia Freeland, for crying out loud. He must be a smart guy. And
I think we're related.
that was a cheap shot he just got on me. Look at his hands. But he's one of those solid individuals that is going to be in this league for a long time. He's going to make the all-rookie team next year without a doubt. Maybe all-pro. This guy's special.
Yeah, Jonathan Allen, he was a game changer in Tuscaloosa, and he looks to be a game changer in the National Football League. Now, Mooch, it's time for you to change the game. You're on the clock, number 9, with those Cincinnati Bengals. What do you got for us, man?
After 5 years of making the playoffs and dropping out of it, last year now the Bengals have some needs. You know, they lost a couple of offensive linemen, Whitworth and Zeitler, and they lost some linebackers, Carlos Dansby and Ray Maluga. So they might go with a Reuben Foster thought. I'm sure that's a discussion. But when you're 21st against the run and the pass, you need defense, all right?
Right.
And Jonathan Allen was a guy, a consideration for us. But you just got him. All right? But there is another pass rusher on the board that I got to have. Because at Tennessee, Derek Barnett had 33 career sacks. That beats my buddy Reggie White, okay? So you got to be a one-man wrecking crew to beat Reggie White's record. Derek Barnett from Tennessee will give them some pass rush. You know, they lost Pico and they lost Marcus Hunt, and you're talking about filling a need and also getting a great playmaker. Tennessee, can you get that off the board over there, Cole?
I'm trying, Mooch. I'm trying, man. I'm doing my best. This got me so nervous I bite my fingernails all the way down to the nubs, man. See those sack totals right there. Obviously, Derek Barnett, a little more productive than Myles Garrett, but it all really depends on those schemes. No. Now, Shaq, if you had a thought there. I saw you and Mooch were ping-ponging back and forth. Would you like to continue on that thought? Would you like to build upon that?
I'm curious if Carolina identify. I mean, yeah, they definitely could use some help on at the line of scrimmage. But do you think that they realistically go runner here or something, or maybe even?
Well, I think when you're looking at the Carolina Panthers, and Ike talked about building your house from the ground up, they certainly could take a pass rusher there. They just signed K'Wan Short to a big deal. He's an inside pass rusher, and I think he's in a similar light than Jonathan Allen. If they took a pass rusher, I think Derek Barnett probably would be a better fit. At running back, Christian McCaffrey is seriously in consideration there, and you're talking about alleviating some of the load on Cam Newton. Christian McCaffrey's a guy that can do that. He can run the inside. He can catch the ball on the perimeter, slot receiver. He certainly can help them. They have a lot of options available to them at number 8.
All right, so Derek Barnett going to the Cincinnati Bengals at number 9. Now, Bucky, we just heard what you had to say. Now it's your turn because you're not only a draft expert and former scout, we also know a thing or two about playing the game. You were a second-round draft pick out of North Carolina who, oh, by the way, just won a national championship.
There he is.
Look at that.
There we go again.
There
we go.
Hey, look how big
There we go. Come on.
In the throwback, just with a helmet.
Come on, get off.
Oh, my goodness.
You tried to slam me. I'm a little mad at that.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on, get the
What's your full name on the back of your jersey?
Full name.
All right.
He wanted to be known.
We want some respect on that.
All right, when they call you out, you want the whole name. You just want Brooks. You don't want B. Brooks. You want the whole thing. Bucky Brooks.
Why you spike the ball on the 12-yard game?
Hey,
It's Monday Night Football. It's Monday Night Football. First time I got the opportunity to play. That might have been the first time I touched the rock. I mean, I'm a little excited. I'm excitable. I'm an emotional guy. I wear my emotions on my sleeve.
Okay. Why didn't you let him
Or
get
the
to
back
your
of your
body?
jersey.
Like, where's your stiff arm? You got any tools in the bag or what? Like, just all speed, all gas.
All gas. Hey, all gas.
93 octane.
That's it.
All gas. So now that I have all that gas, I'm excited about the Buffalo Bills. I really have a dilemma right now because I hear the outsiders saying that we need a quarterback, but I like Tyrod Taylor. I think Tyrod Taylor is efficient. He's productive.
You're going to go fullback, aren't you?
I mean, I could use a fullback.
That's
because
what they could use.
we have a power-based offense. So I'm hesitating because Mitchell Trubisky is someone that I think would be a nice fit for them.
Carolina?
I didn't make the pick. Can I at least talk about it?
He went to UNC.
I like Tyrod, but I got a new head coach. I got a new head coach. He may like somebody different. He may like that. But I also have a huge need outside. Sammy Watkins, but he doesn't have any playmates. Right. I feel like he needs to have a playmate in the pen. So I'm going to go and get him another Tiger.
You're dead wrong.
Mike Williams. So then we got 2 Tigers on the outside, and we're going to play big ball on the outside. Okay. Mike Williams. Alley-oop specialist, big physical playmaker. So if I think that Tyrod can get us to the next level, and I think he'll be more improved and a more effective player in this new offense with Rick Dennison, I'm giving him weapons on the outside, physical playmaker, can command the double team. He will make life easy for Sammy Watkins. So now we have 2 Tigers with their paws.
I can dig that.
You know what I like about Mike Williams? It's not that, he's big and he catches the ball with his hands in traffic. So many guys like to go to the body catch and fall down. He's comfortable going in there with all those bodies around him, catching the ball with his hands, tucking and dragging guys. And Tyrod needs a guy like that.
Powerful.
And they have to stay healthy in Buffalo.
Yeah, he's not a burner, but he's really strong.
He's a grown man.
He's a Brandon Marshall. He's a younger version of a Brandon Marshall.
You need those guys.
Brandon Marshall is not going to outrun anybody, but he's going to catch everything.
He was going in on me. Thought I was going to take a quarterback.
I tried to.
But you had to give a shout out because you went to North Carolina. So that was your shout out.
Right.
You just had to dangle it out there for a second.
For life. I got you.
All right, much more to come right here on Mock Draft Live. You see our war room. It's getting hot, and things they're going to be picking up as we progress the show. Coming up next, we're going to head down to the Crescent City. That's right, the sportsman's paradise, New Orleans, Louisiana, because those Saints, they're on the clock next. Who will they take? Got to stick around to find out. Welcome back to Mock Draft Live, presented by Verizon, and taking a look at the first 10 picks in the 2017 when it comes to our mock. Now, the last time defensive players were selected with each of the top 3 picks, it was 1992. That's my man, Steve Mariucci, looked like a young George Clooney. How about that? You see 1 through 10 right here. Myles Garrett, the general consensus, going number 1 all the way down to number 10, going to the Bills. Mike Williams out of Clemson, the national champion. That's the first 10. Now it brings us to number 11. Cynthia Freeland, those Saints, they're on the clock, and so are you.
As much as I want to pick a wide receiver for this one, because we obviously just lost a really important one, and I really do like one, I'm really torn here between defense and offense, wide receiver or a cornerback. I feel like they could pick all defense in this draft. The Saints could pick all defense and still probably need some more defensive help. So, with the 11th pick in the NFL fake mock draft.
Very real, this mock draft.
I'm going with Corey Davis out of Western Michigan.
Nice. I like it.
I know.
Wow.
I know. I like
receivers.
it too. You know, I like it because he played he played out of actually every position that they were going to ask him to play out of. He's smart. He's he runs Pro Football Focus, who I love. They said that he finished in the top 10 in receiving yards per route run in each, not just once, but in each of the past 3 years. This is a really impressive receiver. I think he can do great things. He's also very good learner from everything that I've heard.
And he's a Michigan guy. That's why you
he's a Western Michigan.
Western Michigan is
Michigan. Jennings went?
Same school.
Wow. They're just putting out products.
Hey, watching tape on this guy, he runs good in traffic.
Yeah.
In traffic.
He's competitive with the ball
very
in his hands,
competitive.
I know we're having a love fest. But we're the Saints, and we are awful on defense.
Terrible.
We don't have a pass rusher. We don't have a corner. We don't outscore people.
My strength is my offense.
No, we need another one.
We just lost Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks is gone.
We just lost him.
But there might be some things on the table
big
still.
play opportunities.
Listen, there's other opportunities.
We got all kinds of guys that can catch balls. We need someone who can cover. That's why we're talking about
I'm
Malcolm
drafting
Butler.
again 32 here. 32.
Can I finish fixing the Browns here, or what are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. DJ, thanks for getting us back on track. You know, sometimes it's like herding cats, as some would say over there. Now, you had the first pick with the Browns. Of course, Myles Garrett coming out of College Station, going to Cleveland. The Browns back on the clock. They're picking number 12, DJ, and so are you, my friend. What do you got for us, man?
Well, here's the deal. They could go quarterback, and I think if it was the Browns making this pick and not me, they will go quarterback here. They'd be staring at any of them, and I think they probably would take Mitchell Trubisky right here with the 12th pick. But this is not us. This is not us doing what we think the teams are going to do. This is what I would do. So I'm not going with who I think Cleveland's going to take. I'm going to take who they should take in this point in time.
Okay.
And Bucky knows this, and Coach, you know this. Sometimes late in the process, some information comes out, and people get scared, and they get scared off a great player. We're not getting scared off a great player. A little too much water, we don't have a problem with
That's
it.
right.
We're going to go ahead and take Reuben Foster.
I drink a lot of water at the combine.
And now when you look at this defense with Cleveland, we've got Myles Garrett, and then we come back with Reuben Foster. We got two players that dominated in the best conference in football. I'll tell you what, when you watch Alabama play, I know Ike was talking about Jonathan Allen. I can't watch them play and take my eyes off number 10 because all he does is fly around and smack people. He is a stud.
He has some thump. And when you pair him in that, you put him in that defense with Greg Williams, who has a little bite to him. This is a guy that actually, they're trying to change the culture in Cleveland, trying to bring it back to the dog pound.
I think they can do
Reuben
it.
Foster certainly gives a little more
Jamie
bite.
Collins as well, right?
That's what I'm saying. You look at all of a sudden this defense, this front seven looks pretty nice.
I know Greg personally. He does like guys with a little edge.
Little edge.
A little bit. A little edge.
You can have some goals on this.
But but heads up to everybody at the Cleveland Clinic. Be nice. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, listen,
Their defense just got a whole lot better today.
Well, Reuben Foster, he's a big man, a Butkus Award winner for a reason. And since he is so big, of course, it's very important that he stays hydrated. In fact, he's going to go to Cleveland, play linebacker there in the home of Drew Carey. Now we move along to number 13. Maurice Jones-Drew on the clock, number 13 with the Cardinals. We're going to the desert.
Yeah. You know what? I would have preferred the Rams in this situation because I work with them, and I know they don't have a first-round pick. But I'll go with the rival, the Cardinals. So here, watching the Cardinals in free agency, they were depleted on defense. Corners, safeties, everybody's leaving. I was thinking, you know what, maybe I do go a quarterback here. Carson's getting a little older. We'll see. But no, Bucky, no, we're not doing that.
You psyched him.
Yeah, no question. I'm going down to the boot.
What you gonna
Give me
get?
another playmaker corner.
Oh.
I have Patrick Peterson. I have Tyrann Mathieu.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead with Tre'Davious White.
Nice.
Another playmaker. Now we can run with anybody.
You know what I like about that pick the most is we're all going to force Bucky to pass on a UNC quarterback 4 times by the time this show is over.
Hey, listen, this guy here, when you watch his tape, and you know what, I wanted to ask you this, though, but this guy, when he catches the ball, he gets to the end zone. Yeah. He is a turnover scorer. In this league, that's what you need, right?
Tre'Davious White only allowed under 42% of the balls that were thrown to him to be caught. That's
I just saw the Wisconsin game. I just watched the Wisconsin game and he won it, and I was like, I want him.
Just one game.
You don't like Marlon? We keep sleeping on Marlon.
I need a guy that can catch the ball and take it to the house.
He can catch.
I didn't see him. I didn't see. That's
The thing about Tre'Davious, he can play
Punt
outside,
returner.
he can play inside, he can return, and I think he plays safety if you wanted him to play safety.
They call him Shaq over there. That's his nickname, Shaq.
Marlon Humphrey?
No.
Tre'Davious.
They call him Shaq over there. So
we need that.
He plays big.
Well, April 27th, it's going to be big in Philadelphia, and Geno's or Pat's, well, word on the street is neither. So with their city hosting the draft, you know the Eagles are feeling the pressure with that 15th overall pick, and you know the fans are going to feel strongly either way. Eagles, they're going to fly. They'll be on the clock next. Who's picking? A Philadelphia native. How about that?
D'Alessandro.
Well,
is really good.
Can I get some Wiz on it?
Welcome back to Mock Draft Live, presented by Verizon and the 2017 NFL Draft Red Carpet, presented by Lexus. It kicks off Thursday, 6 Eastern. Melissa Stark, she's going to be joined by special guest Carl Weathers. You know him as Apollo Creed himself. Kay Adams and Nate Burleson, they'll also be on hand on the red carpet to welcome the players as well as their families. Now, let's recap the board. As you can see, we've gone 1 through 13. DJ started off number 1, Myles Garrett out of Texas A&M, going to the Browns, and MJD had Tre'Davious White going out of LSU to the Desert and the Cardinals. And up next, Colleen Wolfe, Philadelphia native, the Eagles, they are on the clock at 14. And I hear Philadelphia's lovely this time of year, Colleen.
It's lovely every time of
That's
year.
right. That's a good point.
Come
Good
on.
point.
Let's be honest here. Okay, so Philadelphia, they have a lot of needs. A lot of needs on defense. They really need a corner. They don't have Leotis McKelvin's been cut. Nolan Carroll, he's in Dallas now. I don't really like the two guys that they have in there at this point. I feel like they're not really an upgrade at all. Plus, you look at the division, and there's so many big wide receivers there. You have Dez. You have ODB. Now you have Brandon Marshall there. You have Terrell Pryor. I'm not going with a corner. I'm going Christian McCaffrey. You have Carson Wentz there. You need to build around him. Give that young quarterback all the weapons that he needs as Doug Peterson goes into the second year of the offense there. And that's what you need. You need to really give Carson Wentz all of the things that he needs to make this offense great.
I love this pick because Christian McCaffrey, to me, is very, very similar to Brian Westbrook in terms of his ability to be a triple threat playmaker. And so with a young quarterback and really an upgraded supporting cast, I think this would be nice.
All right, so Christian McCaffrey going to Philadelphia. Of course, the New York Giants defensive unit looking to sink their hooks into him. Now we go to Dave Dameshek, number 15, to the Heartland with the Colts.
I'd like to reiterate how excited I am to get to Philadelphia with everybody else. The organizers have thought of everything. The Sixers and Flyers were good enough to not make the playoffs so we can focus on pro football this coming week here.
He's from Pittsburgh. He's from Pittsburgh. Side note.
The Indianapolis Colts need to start heating up the opposing quarterbacks a little bit. Maurice is sitting right next to me, so I'm tempted to go Takk McKinley there.
Ooh.
Could go Charles Harris, but I'm going to go back to Philadelphia. The crowd will go wild when the name Hassan Reddick is read off.
I like that.
I love Reddick.
That's
great.
I'm disgusted.
No.
You had a great product.
No, that's what they need.
I'm leaving him for the Steelers, Maurice.
That's what they need.
Versatile.
Hassan Reddick, look, this is a great story, too. He walked on as a secondary player, earned his way scholarship, ended up playing defensive end with his hand in the ground. Then we said we want to play him at linebacker, shows up at the Senior Bowl, plays off the ball and dominates.
Yep.
Awesome. He just destroyed the postseason. So this is a guy getting a lot of steam this time of year.
Yeah, Hassan Reddick of the thought process. Where do you play? Wherever I can get on the field. Dameshek has him going number 15 to the Colts and Ike Taylor 16. Who do you have going to the Ravens, my friend?
Oh, man, I'm just looking at these stats right here. And Baltimore defense hasn't been playing too bad. You know, 5th in rushing.
Not too bad.
2nd and 3rd down. They need to work on their sacks, turnovers. They're tied for 4th. They're 7th total on defense. But one thing I do know about Baltimore, man, Baltimore like to run that ball. And they 28th in the league in running that ball. And they haven't been running that ball. And they got a guy at Florida State who can run that ball. His name is Dalvin Cook. I'm going with Dalvin Cook to the Baltimore Ravens, man. The only time the Baltimore Ravens offense is at its best is doing the play-action pass. And you got to have a running back to have a play-action pass. I got to go with Dalvin.
The last time they had a real good running back, they won the Super Bowl.
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice. You got to get you a guy in there to help Joe Flacco out.
No question.
Can't do it by himself.
I've known this kid for a while. He played in the Under Armour All-American game. Same with Leonard Fournette. Yep. So had him then. And then he comes to Game Changers, and we had him for the whole day.
Why are you doing that?
I'm trying to pull the ball out of there so he doesn't fumble, right? But he's a good kid, and he's a big, productive back, and over 4,400 yards rushing at Florida State, broke Warren Dunn's record. This kid's the real deal, and I like that pick. Good pick.
All right. Well, we're halfway through the first round, and Washington, Tennessee, Tampa still on the clock. Who's going to take this talented playmaker out of this draft? You're going to find out when Mock Draft Live Draft Week Special returns right after this. Stick around.
Going long, goes up, catches it. touchdown. C-L-E-M-S-O-N. Deshaun Watson. And Clemson puts a big touchdown on the board. Watson keeping it into the end zone. Touchdown.
I'm going to go get Myles Garrett.
Solomon Thomas, he's a game changer.
I'm going to get a guy who can help both in the passing game and the running game. O.J. Howard, tight end.
Wow. I think the best player in this whole draft is available for me right now. I'm taking Jamal Adams.
No! Hear me now, believe me later. Here come the L.A. Chargers. That defense is for real. Malik Hooker is...
I'm hustling because Mitchell Trubisky is someone that I think would be a nice fit for them.
Can I finish fixing the Browns here, or what are we doing?
We're hustling and bustling here on Mock Draft Live, presented by Verizon, and Daniel Jeremiah had Myles Garrett going from College Station to the thriving metropolis of Cleveland, Ohio. At number 1, also DJ at number 12, you had Reuben Foster taking his talents from Alabama to the Cleveland Browns. Now, no quarterbacks, just 2 running backs and 10 defensive players taken so far in the first 16. So who's your best available still?
Well, look, the quarterbacks haven't gone yet, but in terms of my best available, it's a tight end out of the University of Miami, and David Njoku, who is just an athletic freak. He's right at the top of the list for me. And then I think the best offensive lineman, we haven't seen an offensive lineman go yet, which is very unusual. Forrest Lamp from Western Kentucky would be him.
Well, 10 defensive players taken out of the first 16. And Bucky, you're next on the clock. Number 17, the Washington Redskins. Time to go.
I mean, this is a tough pick for the Washington Redskins because I'm looking at the board. I would like to find a replacement for Fat Rob at tailback to help my quarterback, but all the top guys are gone. Y'all snatched Fournette, McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, all those guys. No one that's a value pick at 17. Then I wanted to go outside, maybe find a pass rush, someone that can improve that. Hassan Reddick was the guy that had pinpoint. He's not there. So
hold on. So you picked 3 with Chicago who needs a quarterback. You didn't take one. Then your next pick, who'd you have? You had Buffalo could need a quarterback, didn't take one.
No.
Now the Redskins, we don't know what's going on with their quarterback. How many times are you going to pass on a North Carolina quarterback?
Well, I can't pass anymore. So I'm watching Redskins. I'm tired of dealing with Kirk Cousins. I can't get him on the contract. I don't know if he's going to sign because I can't bring him back on the franchise tag. So what I'm doing is I'm going to invest in the long-term future. I'm going to take North Carolina's Mitchell Trubisky as my quarterback for the future.
Did he talk you into that?
I had a good idea.
Here's why. Here's why. Jay Gruden likes to work with lesser quarterbacks.
What's that?
Heart attack. Can you believe that?
That really is a QB league already.
What was that?
He's done a great job.
Didn't know that was going to happen.
He's done a great job with quarterbacks that can connect the dots. Mitchell Trubisky can connect the dots. And when I look at this, because in my estimation, Deshaun Watson, Mitchell Trubisky depends on what you like. But in that offense, I believe Mitchell Trubisky is a better fit. Quick rhythm thrower, has experience with some of the full field reads. I believe the Redskins put him on the bench for a year. They let Kirk Cousins leave, and then he becomes a starting quarterback for the Redskins in 2018.
You couldn't do that for Deshaun Watson?
I mean, I could. But I don't think they would.
Here's the deal. If he picks Deshaun Watson, he doesn't get floor seats for that Carolina basketball game against Duke, man. That's the thing.
So you really think he's the first round pick?
You think he's a better fit than Deshaun?
Here's what I think. I think he is a bottom of the first round talent. And if you're that close, you can take a pick on him. 13 career starts bothers me. But when you look at what he does on film, pure, quick rhythm passer, ball comes out, throws with timing and anticipation. In their version of the West Coast offense, as Kirk Cousins has been successful, he would be successful. Could Deshaun Watson fit in that offense? Absolutely. But I believe they would view this guy as a more cleaner, he would be a cleaner pocket passer than Deshaun coming in. That gives him the
So you rather not give him another young receiver.
That's
with
what I was
Ross.
going to say.
You got Terrell Pryor.
So I
could have got Ross.
I got that.
For Kirk Cousins.
I like John Ross, and John Ross to me would be Deshaun Jackson. However, they invested a first-round pick last year in Josh Dotson, so maybe we'll wait and see on Dotson, see if he can be that playmaker. And I can come back and get a guy that's similar to Ross, like a D.D. Westbrook or a more explosive playmaker in the second or third round to do that.
So Mitchell Trubisky, the first quarterback taken in our mock draft, he gets a confetti cannon. The second quarterback taken, we're going to shoot Roman candles. There's going to be more quarterbacks on this board, but until then, Cynthia Freeland.
I had to look death in the face.
You're back on the clock, Cynthia.
I'm
number
back on the
18
clock.
with the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
once again.
Listen, I think the Titans are in the best spot of anyone in this draft, honestly, with the picks that they got from St. Louis/Los Angeles from last year and how well their quarterback's been playing. They can kind of take their pick here. To me, it's either a wide receiver or a cornerback again. And I'm replacing Jason McCourty. He's no longer on the team. For me, I actually think the best corner available that could fit into the system is actually at Ohio State, Garyon Conley. I think he's a great pick here. Listen, when you look at where he's allowed people to receive passes against him, it's only happened like maybe 15, 14 times this past season. With 8 pass breakups in there, come on. And about only 50 times were people targeting against him. This is a great pick. I think
here's my concern. The concern for me is that Ohio State secondary, somebody must be hidden in there because of the talent around that. Who is it?
It was him. And they threw at him every play, right? Am I right or wrong? Wasn't he the guy that everyone tested?
Rank him out as one of the best quarterbacks. My top 5, I still got to go. Honestly, I had.
Watch Marlon Humphrey against LSU.
Sidney, if Sidney didn't get hurt, Sidney Jones. Right.
I'm afraid of that.
He was my top cornerback. You went with Lattimore, but, just dealing with Lattimore, man. Lattimore, no disrespect to Lattimore, had a lot of hamstring, injuries. So when you have a lot of hamstring injuries in college, you would have a lot of hamstring injuries in the NFL. Hamstrings are just like hibernating bears. Marlon Humphreys, to me, is probably
Watch Marlon Humphrey against LSU.
To me, is probably the best all-around.
What about playing the ball down the field, though?
Marlon Humphrey against LSU. Watch him. He gets behind him.
Ole Miss tore him up. Arkansas receiver tore him up.
Yeah.
The Clemson game, they tore him up. He gave up a lot of plays down. He's in phase. He's in great position.
And I saw with Lattimore,
when
the kitchen got hot, my hamstring was hurting. So I can work with a guy that get toe up. I can't work with a guy when the kitchen get hot, my hamstring hurt.
Number one ability is availability, is what they say.
It's like the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh, out the kitchen. Now, Garyon Conley, the Cool Springs Mall in Brentwood, Tennessee. You'll be doing a lot of shopping there if Cynthia was right and you do go to the Tennessee Titans. Now up next, Daniel Jeremiah, 19. We're sending you down to Tampa, the Buccaneers. Who you have for us?
All right, here's the deal. Edge rusher is a place I'd like to go here. There's a couple good options when you look at Takk McKinley from UCLA, still available. You look at Charles Harris, who's still available. Now, if I'm going to stay true to the board, David Njoku, the talented tight end from Miami, is my highest available player. And I think that would give Jameis Winston another weapon. You just brought over Deshaun Jackson. Yep. So that's the struggle, is highest, best available or a positional need. And historically, I've found out when you try and push guys up a little bit for need, get yourself in trouble. So I'm going to go ahead and take David Njoku, the tight end from Miami, and give Jameis Winston another toy.
You got to score in the NFC South.
That boy got a garage full of toys.
Yeah, he's got
to score in the NFC South, man. It seems like every year someone's scoring 50. Either Saints, Falcons, maybe the Bucs this year they average 40 points a game.
And this kid's unique because, as a tight end, you don't see tight ends used on tunnel screens and bubble screens. They just want to get the ball in his hand so he can do this. He's a 7-foot high jumper. He's a freaky athlete.
And we get to watch him on Hard Knocks, so it all works out.
By the way, talking to the folks in Tampa on the staff there, they said they've already started their Hard Knocks diet. So it's going to get everybody in shape. That coaching staff is going to be
You got to be on it. You got to be on it.
TV, add 10 pounds.
Yeah, David Njoku, 6'4", 246. All the pounds that it may add will probably be good pounds. He's going to the Bucs. Dave Dameshek, you're picking 20. Those Denver Broncos. Make that selection for us, please.
First of all, I'd like to point out that there's a guy, talk about hiding, Paxton Lynch, end of the first rounder, not slotted in year 2 to be the number 1 there in Denver.
It's a competition.
Maybe a little bit of a whiff pick there. Most guys who get drafted in the first round at quarterback play in the 21st century.
Dave, real quick, they just told me, they said if you make a good pick, there's going to be another confetti cannon. I think we're all safe.
I don't understand the senseless attack, but I congratulate you on all the laughs you got at my expense, Daniel. Now, if I may continue. The Broncos still fancy themselves as Super Bowl contenders. Spoiler alert, I don't really think they are in 2017, but they do need to fix up that offensive line to help out whichever young QB gets under center there. Listen, I'm not so pretentious as to claim I know which 300-pound human being leans up well against other large human beings the best. I'm going to defer to Daniel Jeremiah in spite of his
foul
words.
I can't criticize the pick. I see how this is.
Forrest Lamb out of Western Kentucky. They need offensive line help there.
I can't criticize it when you say I made the pick.
See? was strategic on my part.
Look, Bucky, I think he's the best offensive lineman in this draft. What do you think?
Well, I think he has tremendous versatility. He can play anywhere along the line. He really played well when he had an opportunity to play against elite competition. When you look at this guy, very impressive in this scheme as they continue to evolve this offense under Mike McCoy. He could be a nice fit outside, could even slide inside and upgrade an offensive line that struggled, which really was a bigger problem than the quarterback play that people have pointed out.
Denver Broncos, 5 straight seasons with 9 or more wins. And what can I say? Dave Dameshek, he loves Lamp. He loves Lamp. Now, together, the M&M era may not be remembered very fondly in the Motor City, but don't worry, Lions fans. Mooch, he's back in the saddle, and he's picking for Detroit. The Lions, they're on the clock. And next, maybe there'll be a confetti cannon. Who knows? Look at that.
You have to admit, you look really good in Honolulu blue.
DJ looks scared.
Yeah, that scared the crud out of me.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe this.
It's in the water.
Hey, I had to put my hand down because I didn't know they were.
Back at your service here on Mock Draft Live, presented by Verizon, and we're 20 picks in. Daniel Jeremiah had Myles Garrett going number 1 to the Cleveland Browns. No secret there, but how about at 5 and 6? Teammates out of LSU, Jamal Adams and Leonard Fournette, going respectively to the Titans and Jets. And then at number 20, Dave Dameshek, a big fan of Forrest Lamp out of Western Kentucky University. Now Steve Mariucci, he's on the clock with the Lions, and he spent some time in Detroit. Let's have a look.
You've prepared as hard as you can, as well as you can. Play the game. This is what we do. Hey, let's have some fun, baby. Let's go. Woo! Woo! Face mask! Face mask!
How about some wide receivers? Take a wide receiver.
Can I challenge it?
Oh, watch this. Angry flag. Watch it go. Yeah.
Don't throw the flag at him.
Where? At who?
Right here.
I didn't throw it at anybody. It was not an angry flag. It was a fired up flag. You learned something. There are 2 things. You guys got a lot of fight in you, and I love that.
Well, you can see right there. This is an angry full screen. This is a fired up full screen, Mooch.
Yeah, don't.
We're fired up about
wide
this
receiver.
because clearly you're a big fan of the
Not
offense.
your picks. They were not your
3
picks.
wide receivers right there,
like
but
Kevin Jones
Lions
back in the day,
fans,
though,
you can blame Mooch for that.
Virginia Tech,
blame Mooch for that. Toiling in mediocrity. Mooch, who you have the Lions taking here?
He was going to flag me for throwing an angry flag. I mean, like, that's not even in the rule book. A penalty for an angry flag. It was a fired up flag.
Did you pick Rodgers because he went to Michigan State?
I have no comment on who picked for the Detroit Lions. Okay,
You're my favorite. You're my favorite Lions coach. That's all that matters.
I'm looking at their team and what do they need help with? Well, they're 31st guys on 3rd down defense. That means they can't get off the field. They can't hit the quarterback. And obviously in that division you better be able to do that. So I'm looking at all the pass rushers that are available. Because some guys are gone, right? Myles Garrett's gone, Solomon Thomas gone, Barnett's gone, and who's left? Well, you got a couple guys, McKinley, Taco Charlton from right down the road over there at Michigan. But the guy I really like, Charles Harris from Mizzou. And Mizzou now, they've got a pipeline into the National Football League with pass rushers, don't they? Alden Smith, Shane Ray, Coney Ely, Marcus Golden. You had Sheldon Richardson play D-line there. And you know what? I had this kid, Charles Harris. I had him on Game Changers, all right? Got to know him a little bit. His nickname is Black Ice. Black Ice.
Why they call him Black Ice?
I said, why do they call you Black Ice?
What he
says, because, well, by the time they see you, it's too late. And so everybody on their team's got some nicknames, but he's a good kid. Boy, he can come off the edge. He's got good hands. He's got good feet. He's going to give some of those divisional quarterbacks some pressure. I like him a lot.
Is it part of the show that every person you pick has to be on Game Changers?
No, but we had a lot of good players on Game Changers, right? A lot of first rounders. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know.
Someday you might be able to coach those running backs.
Nope. I didn't know. You got to be in the Hall of Fame to do that.
Detroit Lions, always looking out for that black ice. Always looking out for that black ice.
You're in my Hall of Fame.
Great goodie mob.
That was black ice right now.
So Charles Harris out of Mizzou, going to Detroit. Simmer down over there. Simmer down just a little bit. I have to get to Colleen Wolfe, picking number 22 with those Miami Dolphins. Who do you have, Colleen?
All right, I'm looking at their needs. I really wanted to get them an offensive guard. Their line was, when they were good last year, it was because their line was good. When they were running the ball well, Jay Ajayi was balling out. It was because their line was together and they were healthy. But now Brandon Albert's done. He's not there anymore. Laramie Tunsil, they're going to kick out to tackle. But my guy, Lamp, is off the board. So I see Tack McKinley still sitting there. This is a really great player. He's a Bruin. I see
like him?
MJD looking at me right now. So I like him to complement Cam Wake and maybe eventually succeed him. I know that they just brought in Will Hayes from the Rams, but I think that depth at that D-line is important for the team.
You know, outside of the New England region of these United States, I think I speak for everybody. Come on, Dolphins, and come on, Bills. Please, somebody in that division, give a formidable opposition to Tom Brady and company.
There?
Because the Jets have no chance in 2017. But those other two teams do have a legitimate chance of being relevant. And I think a playmaker on defense for those Dolphins makes them even better in 2017.
I think the thing about Tack, though, is that if you have a really good D-line coach to continue to help him improve his pass rush skills, he'll be fine. And, I mean, I don't know if you guys are counting or anything, but this is like the 4th year in a row UCLA has had a defensive lineman go in the first round. I'm just saying.
Congratulations on those Rose Bowls, by the way.
Thank you.
Great job.
I'm glad someone's
How did you go to? We play in the Rose Bowl every home game. What are you talking about?
All the way through December. And then once December stops, you guys are very grateful to let others play there.
It's all good.
All right, Dave, they may be turning over a new leaf in East Rutherford with the Jets because Leonard Fournette, according to our mock, is going to play for Gang Green. Now up at 23, Ike Taylor with the other team that occupies East Rutherford, New Jersey, the New York Giants. Who you have them taking, Ike?
So a couple of years ago, we spent all that money in all season on defense. Now, all that money got us number 1 in the red zone defense. All that money have us second in scoring on defense. All that money got us third in rushing on defense. All that money got us third on third downs. But we're 29th in rushing on offense. We're 17th in passing. We're 28th on third downs. Now, this is a key factor. Red zones, we're 19th. So I'm looking at OBJ. I'm looking at Brandon Marshall. Shepard had a ball last year. So why not give him another weapon? And me and DJ talked about this guy. Coach Mooch mentioned this guy earlier from Ole Miss, man. Give me that tight end. Evan Ingram will be a possession guy in that red zone, let alone he's very athletic. At the combine, we watched the DBs and the receivers run fast. The tight ends ran just as fast. So when you got a guy from Ole Miss who run a 4.4, now this guy ran 4.4s at 230-something, super athletic. You can line him up at receiver if you want to. They have him listed as a tight end, had 8 touchdowns last year, man. This guy is always open. Why not give Eli Manning another toy?
He needs it. I feel like that offense last year was just Eli and Odell Beckham.
But when you're looking in the red zone, you're 19th in the red zone. I know why we got Brandon Marshall, but sitting in the inside, and we talk about this all the time, all your great quarterbacks have good tight ends. Just think about it.
Well, I really like it because quick rhythm passing game. They run a lot of their things all 10 yards and fewer, so they want to get the ball out quick, allow their playmakers to go. Evan Ingram with Brandon Marshall, Sterling Shepard, OBJ, they now have an explosive receiving core.
This might sound crazy, but once Brandon Marshall kind of retires and moves on, I think this kid can play outside full time. Just put him out there.
I mean, he's a big wide receiver. He's not tight ends nowadays aren't the traditional put your hand in the ground. You want a guy like that, you're going to have to detach him and let him go against linebackers in space.
Ike, I like the way you think, and I bet Eli Manning does as well. Another offensive weapon. I'm sure he has sights of a 3rd Super Bowl ring coming to East Rutherford. Now, still ahead, trades. On draft day, they always go down, and we're going to show you how we can make them work for your team. And our GMs, well, they propose some trades that may be facilitated on April 27th in Philadelphia, PA. Stick around. We'll be right back. Back with you on Mock Draft Live, presented by Verizon. And this year, NFL Network will be inside 20 war rooms during the draft. It's access you won't get anywhere else, and you can see it all go down, starting in the round of 1. Thursday night, 8 Eastern from Philly.
Yesterday afternoon, the San Diego Chargers and Atlanta Falcons swapped the number 1 pick of the draft. In exchange, the Chargers move down and pick 5. They get a 3 this year, a 2 next year, but the headline is the Atlanta Falcons have an opportunity to select Michael Vick to play some quarterback.
With the first selection in the 2001 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Michael Vick, quarterback, Virginia Tech. With the 5th pick, San Diego Chargers select LaDainian Tomlinson, number 32 overall. San Diego Chargers have selected quarterback from Purdue, Drew Brees.
Well, yes, it is a little weird. I'm still standing while everyone else has a seat. What's not weird, though, trades on draft day. We know we're going to see some of them, so I'm going to go to our resident scout, Bucky Brooks. Give me a trade that would not surprise you on April 27th, man.
Ooh, man, that's tough. I think at the bottom of the first round, Kansas City Chiefs moving up in front of the New York Giants to get the quarterback of their choosing, whether it's Patrick Mahomes, whether it's Deshaun Watson, trying to find a replacement for Alex Smith. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Chiefs make a move.
You agree with that, DJ?
No, I think you could definitely see that happen. And to me, you're looking at Houston as a place that could be a quarterback spot. So you're trying to get ahead of those teams you think might take a quarterback. So that would make some sense. I'd also keep an eye, though. Tennessee picks 5 and 18. They have no second-round pick right now. I'd be willing to bet at the end of the day they end up with a second-round pick. They'll trade back one of those two.
Oftentimes, anybody that needs a quarterback will find a way to move and get the guy they like. And that kind of dominates where trades are made, is who finds a way to get the quarterback they like. And some teams are going to be moving up, like you mentioned, possibly Houston, possibly, Arizona might in the second round, Buffalo, the whole thing. But I can see San Francisco moving out of that number 2 pick in a hurry.
There's a lot of teams that want to move back.
Yeah, want to move back.
Yeah, who wants to move to number 2, though?
Yeah.
That's the question, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I think they need a quarterback, but
Oh.
later on, and I think they're going to get some more picks, and there's a lot of good players early in this draft.
I know
especially
the
on
Jags
defense.
are begging to move back. But
Mike
again,
McCagnon
you need
is
two to
just like
tango.
this with his phone right
Yeah.
now. Still open, still waiting.
Surprise, surprise. The Tennessee Titans looking to make the most out of those 2 first-round picks. And now we're going to move along. The Raiders, they're on the clock. MJD, you know a lot about the Bay Area. You're picking number 24 for us, man.
Yeah, okay. The tape here is not as good as the old Jacksonville tape, so we can go ahead and cut that.
Bring us back, MJD.
Oh, yeah, I started after this. Yeah.
Go get him.
I should have played linebacker.
Not too bad right there.
Why? Somebody missed? That's why I said turn the tape
That was
off.
amoeba defense.
That was the time. That's when I knew it was over. That's why I was like, I can't make it miss.
Can we get some stats?
You just knew you had to
inches,
us.
inches after
I'm glad
contact.
you're here,
It was called career done, and I was like, I appreciate everything, but
His stat was right on his jersey, 2.1 yards per carry.
Wow. Well, you're on the clock, MJD. At 24, what do you got?
All right, if I'm Oakland, I know I have an explosive offense. I have enough wide receivers. Obviously, running back here would be a good pick if there was a guy there that we wanted to. Joe Mixon's still on the board.
He is
right?
on the board.
But I think you wait a little bit if you're going to take him. We need help
Like
in
never?
defense. I'm going to take him because we're going to win a championship with him. But we need help on defense, and particularly the linebacker position.
Oh, no, you're going to take my guy.
You no question we're going to take your guy.
don't take my
We're going to take Jared Davis. Reason being is we have to stop the run, and he is a Raider type of player.
No question.
When he hits people, he hits to remove the ball. He doesn't hit to tackle. He's flying down face first. Watch every time. He's always around the ball. He can cover as well. This young man here is going to change the game. This is what a Jack Del Rio, Ken Norton type of defense
So
needs.
he's another guy I worked out with, Tom Shaw in Orlando, and I had a month to work out with this guy. Now, he didn't run for a while because he was kind of lingering with some injury, but he wound up jumping to 38 and a half. He wound up running a 4.4, meaning a 4.5, at close to 240. And then when you pop in the tape, man, this guy's an old school kind of linebacker. He flies to the ball. He's a stealer. Like when I talk to my guys in the war room for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they say this guy, Jared Davis, is a stealer. Getting back to the old school Raiders, how they used to play football, of course, you see what they do on the offense. He's going to work good for that team.
Perfect fit.
He was
No
getting ready to be a
question.
chief.
It's a great pick. That's why
He wasn't about to be. We need him to stop the Chiefs. That's the issue.
Well, you heard what
That's what
MJD
happens
had to say. Jared Davis looking to fortify the Silver and Blacks defensive attack. Now, still much more to come right here on Mock Draft Live, presented by Verizon. We're going to head to the Lone Star State, where the stars at night are big and bright because the Houston Texans, well, they may have a question or two under center. More Mock Draft Live coming your way after this. Stay put.
Wings into the end zone. Caught! Throws on the run, and he is going to the end zone. Patrick Mahomes. The throw was perfect. Makes it himself. Touchdown, Red Raiders. It's Patrick Mahomes.
Mock Draft Live, presented by Verizon. We're sticking and moving in the 2017 NFL Draft Red Carpet, presented by Lexus. Kicks off Thursday, 6 Eastern. Melissa Stark, she's going to be joined by a gaggle of guests, including Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed himself. You know he fought Rocky in Philly, as well as Kay Adams and Nate Burleson. They'll be on the red carpet to welcome the players as well as their families. Now, let's get back to business, shall we? Because with the 25th pick in the 2017 mock draft, it's Bucky Brooks who has the Houston Texans. My man, what do you got?
You're on the clock, Buck.
Hey,
I'm struggling right now because
make a horrible pick so the Jazz can win it this year.
I'm struggling right now because I'm looking at the depth chart, and I know Tom Savage has been talked about as being the starter. I just have a hard time believing that he's a starting quarterback. Behind him, I had Brandon Wheaton. I'm not really fired up about either one. He was, but sometimes we make mistakes in the first round.
Okay.
And so that's the only thing that's keeping them from making that move in the AFC. They need a quarterback.
They're going to trade to get a quarterback?
They need a quarterback. They got a defense. They need a quarterback. They need someone that can get it done. But I can't make that move right now. So I believe we're going to go offensive tackle, and we're going to go Ryan Ramczyk from Wisconsin. Okay. He's going to step in at right tackle.
Just as sexy of a name.
He's going to replace Derek Newton. Derek Newton is hurt. We're going to be able to run the football with Lamar Miller. We have the protection. Look, Rick Smith went on record and said that they're okay with Tom Savage being the starting quarterback. He needs to be healthy and stay there. But if we can run the ball, protect him with all the weapons, maybe they can be successful. And in the second round, we come back and get a quarterback. Ryan Ramczyk, Wisconsin, is the pick.
Bucky, thank you.
All right. Got to keep Tom Savage upright and clean down there in Houston, Texas. So, Mr. Ramczyk, you will be going to Houston. Now, number 26, Dave Dameshek, you are on the clock, man.
From Ramczyk to Dameshek.
Catch it.
Look, you got the Green Bay Packers, you got the Dallas Cowboys, you got the Atlanta Falcons. Look, the NFC has a lot of good teams, but the Seattle Seahawks just might be the most talented of the bunch.
Let's add to that talent as they transition from dominant defense, and they still have those great pieces there, to turning it more and more over into Russell Wilson's hands. Let's give him another weapon. The fastest in the draft, the local kid, John Ross. It is. Tyler Lockett was shaky in year 2, so let's
Lockett side by
That boy
side.
fast.
Wow.
That boy fast.
That's a matchup right there.
Kickoff returner. Lockett's got that taken care of, though. So I think a little bit of a duplicate there in what you already have on campus.
Well, listen, I would really think long and hard about Joe Mixon, perhaps, there. That would be a nice little...
For defense, you got any of the corners that could step in, maybe. Richard Sherman, however. I mean, he's a speed player, big-time playmaker, put the ball in the paint.
And Dave, nobody rallies the 12th man like the Seattle Seahawks, taking John Ross. And it's time now for Draft Facts, driven by Hyundai. He's a fast man, John Ross is. He ran that 40, and get this, a 4.22 at the Combine, the fastest time since any player that's done it in 2003. Now, there have been 18 wide receivers who run a sub 4.35 40 at the Combine in that span, but no one was as good as that cat right there. Only 3 of them recorded a 1,000-yard season in the league. Brandon Cooks, Mike Wallace, and John Brown. Those guys, we all know they can run a little bit. And that was Draft Facts, driven by Hyundai. How about that? Now, number 27, Daniel Jeremiah. We're going to the home of barbecue, Kansas City. Andy Reid and the Chiefs. Who do you like for them?
Well, I'm upset because I wanted to take the linebacker from Florida, Jared Davis. He's a perfect fit for what the Chiefs need, but he's gone. He's not there. So when I look at what they need, a big corner would kind of fit with what they like there. And you look at a couple guys, Marlon Humphrey, who's been talked about by Ike down there. You also got Kevin King from Washington,
played with Marcus Peters,
who makes a lot of sense as well. But hold up, Mooch, you got a big thing here. Let me see this thing real quick here. I'm a little bit scared of what could be falling out of the sky because I'm going to go get our quarterback of the future in Deshaun Watson.
Nothing.
McAdoo play Deshaun Watson.
I was ready.
No confetti.
Jack in the Box. I know it's coming, and it still freaks me out every time.
Yeah, I know.
Ben McAdoo's play sheet over there, DJ. I like that.
Yeah, no, look, Deshaun Watson, to me, I think at this point in time, he's my 28th overall player, so I think this is a good spot for him. I think he would be a great person for Coach Reid to develop, and he's done that as well as anybody in the league. Mooch, you know that. How do you like that fit?
I like it a lot. There were 2 West Coast type quarterbacks in this league that
in this draft. Perfect. Trubisky and Watson, I like their mobility. They're similar in size. They can throw from the pocket and on the run, going both ways. They both have a great upside. They're nowhere near where they're going to be. And for them to sit behind somebody and learn, that's in their best interest. And I think it's going to be a perfect fit over there.
By the way, where does the time go? Alex Smith's been in the NFL for 12 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
12 years.
And Deshaun's going to have to sit a while because Alex Smith still has some tread on the tire.
And it's perfect for him. He can sit and develop, and he'll be eventually
and
be the
Reed
guy.
really likes Smith too. So there's no issue there either.
And Alex Smith has never had an issue with a hard-charging backup, in his career. So this will be good.
All right, gang. 5 picks still left to go. And last season, Zeke Elliott, well, he made a fashion statement on the red carpet, and then the Cowboys made a statement taking him number 4 overall. And after last season's success, what will they do this season in the draft? They're picking number 28, and so is our guy, MJD. He's on the clock. Next, right here, Mock Draft Live.
My bad.
Just 5 picks left to go here on Mock Draft Live, presented by Verizon. And you see that Mitchell Trubisky out of the University of North Carolina was the first quarterback taken off our board by the pride of the University of North Carolina, the one and only Bucky Brooks. He was the first quarterback. The second, Deshaun Watson, right there, the national champion out of Clemson, took down the giant that was the Alabama Crimson Tide, and now he's looking to do more of the same in the division with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now it's time for number 28, my man MJD. You're picking for those Dallas Cowboys.
You know what, Cole? I felt like every pick I've had in this whole thing has just been A pluses. So I'm going to continue that trend.
Nice.
Humble.
Hashtag humble.
There's no reason to be humble. Thank you. Hey, where's the little can? Fire on this one. Cowboys, obviously offensively, that was their best defense, run the ball. Dak Prescott did a great job. Des Bryant. But you have to have a defense. They don't have one.
Who's going to cover for them?
Forget cover. Who's going to get to the quarterback for them?
That too.
I'm going to go. I'm going to build my house from the ground up as well. I'm going to go Taco Charlton.
Taco.
I knew he was gone.
Michigan. The University of
Taco Charlton.
So, somebody say something about him.
No, he's a good player. He's a really good player.
He's a blue-collar player. He's a blue-collar
Cowboys
rusher.
need it.
They need someone that can get after them. If you think about Rod Marinelli, what he's been able to do, normally he's able to get guys that are inconsistent with their work ethic to play at a higher level. This is a simple defense, one that is really built on grit, hustle, and determination.
And that's what he is.
He fits in that. And so they don't necessarily place a premium on corners in that defense. So, yeah, I think you are better served to get the pass rush.
Well, you got to have somebody. You got to have somebody to affect those guys. I mean, again, you're talking Eli Manning, Carson Wentz, Kirk Cousins, possibly Mitch.
And they
Mitch
never really
Trubisky.
replaced DeMarcus Ware, so this would work.
No question, it will work. I picked it. It's going to work.
It's great. I love this pick.
From your mouth to God's ears.
So who did you have them taken in your mock draft? Like the other
I had him taking Kevin King from a big because he was
that
gone.
house was built from the roof.
No, well, because he was gone. There was no other pass rusher, so I had to go corner.
The ceiling is the roof.
Oh, I knew he was going to say that.
Don't worry about it.
Listen,
Dadgummit, you got me.
Taco Charlton, he's a big man, as big as all outside, 6'6", 280 pounds, looking to be a force for the Dallas Cowboys on the defensive
And
side
I'm
of the
done,
ball. That's
Cole.
right. You're done, MJD.
And I'm done.
But we'll still get to discuss
Good job,
in just a
MJD.
little bit, perhaps this very next
About to
pick,
walk
because
the
Steve
lead?
I'm
Mariucci
gonna walk out.
on the clock with the Green Bay Packers. He spent time in Detroit as well as Green Bay. And Mooch, Brett Favre, you know that man quite well, the old gunslinger right there, and he could definitely throw it off the back foot.
there he is.
You see some footage right there.
come on,
Look at that warm
Mooch.
embrace.
Come on, Mooch.
How about that, Mooch?
What kind of sweater you have on?
Cashmere.
Was that mohair?
I was telling him, hey, throw it to our guy today.
Like old camel right
Back in the day, Mooch's turn on that
once
game
told
was
me
strong.
that he used to conduct
Ty Detmer.
on cold days in Lambeau would conduct the quarterback meetings in the sauna.
In the sauna,
True?
yeah.
I love
I think that's a
that.
At
playoff game. Would be
halftime. At halftime.
Would be the
That's
night.
That was the best thing we ever did. It was pretty-
Well, how about we turn up the heat and the humidity, Mooch? We're not in the sauna, but we are putting your feet to the fire. Pick 29 for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah,
man.
Ted Thompson does such a great job over there choosing players, and they've got 3 different concerns right now. At running back, they lost a couple guys. Eddie Lacy and James Starks are gone, so do you consider a Joe Mixon, somebody like that, to replace a running back? But they have Ty Montgomery. Do you replace the Sam Shields and Micah Hyde in the secondary? And that's a possibility as well. There are candidates. But you lose Julius Peppers and Dayton Jones. You've got to get a pass rush. You're 31st in the
on pass defense. You got to get a pass rush. So I'm looking at all the guys that win already.
Stay in Wisconsin.
I'm going to stay home, man.
Stay in
I'm going to
Wisconsin.
stay home because this is going to be a popular pick, Cole. Because
I know where you're going.
TJ Watt
I know where you're
is
going.
going to be a guy for, hey, he's from Pewaukee. You ever been there to Pewaukee, Wisconsin?
No, what is it?
Yeah, I've never been there either.
Oh, come on.
The Watts run that town.
And you know what? I got to know this kid. Guess where?
At Playmakers.
Game
No, it's called Game Changers, all right?
Oh, what do
and
you
he
know?
was there. Oh, look at this guy. He's just a kid. First year starting at 11.5 sacks. He's going to be a big monster guy. He's going to fill out. He's going to mature. He's going to be like his brother in some ways.
Oh,
I'm telling
that's
you,
high praise.
This kid has got such an upside. He's going to be like the mayor of Pewaukee once this happens.
You missed a real
And-
opportunity to
and
make him flip tires for everyone there.
flip tires. No,
Game changers,
I like
man.
this guy a lot. He's going to be special.
He walking.
To me, I think we haven't talked about the most important thing today, and that's the fact if we can get a shot at Cole's jeans, is he rolling the bottom of his jeans?
Wow.
Because I want to say there's just a cut down there at the bottom.
Thanks for having laughs at my expense. DJ, how about that there? He's a fashion plate. Daniel Jeremiah there in his dad jeans and his 17-year-old gym shoes. We'll talk about that just a little bit later on the program. The Steelers, they're going to be on the clock with our guy, Ike Taylor, Mr. Steeler. 2 Super Bowl championships. He played 12 years in the home of Iron City. It's an adult beverage. If you're not familiar with it, Colleen and Cynthia, they're going to round things up. And we have players on the clock, so stick around.
And he'll go down to Jabril Peppers. Gets Montez. Look out. Ball tipped. Intercepted by Jabril Peppers. Peppers with the ball in his hand. Electric. Peppers makes no mistake.
He steps up in the pocket, throws it down the field, and the pass intercepted. Ike Taylor, his first pick of the year, throws it to the near sideline, and it's intercepted. Steelers have it. Ike Taylor takes it to the house. Pittsburgh Steelers touchdown. Throws it down the field, intercepted at the 6. Ike Taylor's got the ball running to the 15-20, and the Steelers, they take away. Ike Taylor.
You trying to help Ike? Look at
Now
that.
you know.
How about that film?
You know.
They
That's
said
awesome.
they said my dog couldn't catch when
as
we
good
played
as
in
it
the
gets.
playoffs. He caught.
As good as it
Congratulate!
gets.
I mean, those producers, congratulate. They really had to work overtime digging up those catches by Ike.
I'm the reason why you get to say 6. Remember that.
You're right. You're right.
All right.
Okay.
We have 6 rings. Don't
On
we?
the clock.
Check.
You have more than 6 seconds. Number 30 with those Pittsburgh Steelers, Ike.
Oh, man, I'm looking at the offense. The offense is booming, as Antonio Brown would say. Looking at the defense doing real good in the red zone, 4th in the red zone, 13th in rushing, 16th in passing. We can't get off the field on 3rd down. I like where the defensive line is heading. We lost Lawrence Timmons. You know, my guy Debo, a.k.a. James Harrison, he's getting kind of old. In the 2, Sean Davis, he balled out, rookie. Hargraves balled out, rookie. Artie Burns balled out, rookie. So we had 3 rookies. Pittsburgh Steelers had 3 rookies that played a lot. So I'm going to go with a guy from Michigan, man. He played linebacker, he played corner, he played safety. He has a nickname, and it fits him right, the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Because he can pretty much do it all. Jabril Peppers, man. I got to go with this guy, man. He's a Pittsburgh Steeler. We saw him at the Combine. You talk about a guy who doesn't lack confidence.
A lot of energy.
This guy doesn't lack confidence or energy. He competing with himself. That's how I look at it. Because he sees nothing else around him. You know how T.O. said he loved me some me? That's how Jabril Peppers
How do you
felt about
answer
himself.
the
He loved him
skeptics
some
who
him.
say that there aren't turnovers there
What you mean?
on his resume, that he doesn't have very many picks or turnovers or otherwise, that
Well-
for a playmaker he doesn't have enough.
Well, when you're not comfortable in one position, you can't get turnovers. So the turnovers he had to make them plays. Like when you're just in one position and you're comfortable enough to make them turnovers are going to come. But when you're playing everywhere, it's hard to just get turnovers.
You know, I think he's a guy that is a nice fit in Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh has a blueprint. You think about what they were able to do with Troy Polamalu, moving him around, put him in a position to make plays. I think Jabril Peppers is a guy that you can use in that vein. I think they come up with a nice package for him to be a nickel player sometimes drop in and linebacker and do a bunch of different things to
Bring back
impact the
another Tar
game.
Heel, huh? More Tar Heels in the mix here.
Too
Just
many,
had to
too
drop
many.
the
I can't
Julius
help the
Peppers name.
Just comes out of everywhere.
Jabril Peppers looking to add a dash of seasoning to that Steeler defense. Now up next, 31, Colleen Wolfe picking for the Atlanta Falcons. Let's hope a 25-point lead isn't blown here.
Oh, that's true. Well, so much shade over there, Cole. All right, they really need a guard because Chris Chester, now he was kind of the lone liability last year. He retired, but I don't see anybody on the board at this point that I'm willing to get at this spot. So I'm going to go with a corner. I'm going to go with Kevin King here. He fits perfectly in Dan Quinn's system, and he's a nice, tall, athletic corner. Ran a 4.4 at the combine, and that's great because there's a lot of tall wide receivers in this division. You have Mike Evans, Michael Thomas, Kelvin Benjamin. This is a nice fit for them, even though they have guys there already. Desmond Trufant signed a deal. You have Robert Alford there that signed a deal. So it's just a good depth pick.
Can't have too many corners, and now you have a big one that you can match up against some of those big wide receivers. Also, some of those athletic tight ends that you face. We always say in the draft room, if you got 3 corners, you need 4. You're always looking for more.
All right, we're going 1 through 32. That's why we call this show Mock Draft Live, and there will be 32 selections. And last but not least, number 32, it's the black and gold, the Saints, Cynthia Freeland. Who do you like them to take?
So I've made my staff work overtime, and I've made them come up with a really good plan so that I can get a lot of people on my defense for in the later rounds. I love Akella Witherspoon. I think he's a great value pick. I think we're going to get him late. But for this pick, number 32, I'm thinking about my future. Bring it over here, please, Jeff. A little help for me here. Oh, by the way, last year, my last pick in the 7th round, Daniel Lasco, he's going to be good this year. In case any running backs were thinking about it, he came from Cal, so we still got him sitting there. I'm ready for it. Ready? Patrick Mahomes. He's coming to my team. And I'm getting him. You know why I'm taking him here? You know why I'm taking him here?
Why?
Oh, God, it's going to happen again.
You broke it.
You know why I'm taking him here? Because I'm thinking about the future, and I'm getting myself to 5th year.
That's why we can't have nice things, Cynthia.
That's why we can't have nice things. That's why we can't have nice stuff.
Setting off fireworks inside the studio. Patrick Mahomes, he can sling it.
All right, so this is not necessarily the easiest offense to translate into the NFL. So you need to give him a little bit of time to develop. The development here is amazing. Big play, big arm. It's going to be a great pick for the future.
Yeah,
and I get a 5th year.
That's a good pick. Guess where I got to know this kid?
Where did you get to know?
So we had him out there, and he was asked the corner about the guy. You know what? This guy threw for 734 yards against Oklahoma. Who does that? Nobody.
When you throw it 100 times, you should throw it.
He ran for almost 100 as well. But he's a good kid. He's a gunslinger now. He'll come out. He'll throw sidearms sometimes. But this guy's got.
He does some off-platform stuff.
How much you pay to have all these game-changing guys?
They beg to come on in here.
No, I'm talking about for us to talk about them on here.
Everybody wants to do this show.
All right, guys. So we have gone and run through the gauntlet, 1 through 32, starting with Myles Garrett to the Browns, finishing up with Patrick Mahomes out of Lubbock, Texas, going to the Saints out of Texas Tech. DJ and Bucky, I want you guys to give us a nice little breakdown, an expert analysis. We have 90 seconds, so give it to us.
I think my favorite pick in this draft, just in terms of fit, I'm going to go MJD here with Jared Davis to the Oakland Raiders. I just love, he just looks like a Raider, plays like a Raider. I love that pick. Look, I got to give it to him on that one. I like that one.
I think that is a nice fit to join him, Maurice. I love the pick with Jamal Adams going to Tennessee. It's a perfect fit. And also Christian McCaffrey in Philadelphia. Those are nice fits for both players.
Thank you.
I was just saying, if you're looking for a GM, holler at the kid. That's all I was. I just wanted to just.
You said all your draft selections of the A+ variety.
All of A+.
Yeah, anything new there? Anything that jumped out to you on this draft board that you really liked, aside from your picks?
I was really surprised to see a lot of the pass rushers fall down. You know, I see Charles Harris going early. I see Takk McKinley going earlier than they went in this mock draft. But, you know, again, I just felt like when I was at the GM, we just took the best player available on our board, and he just ended up working out.
Don't nobody like that New York Giants pick?
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I like the pick for the Giants.
5.
It's all right, Ike. It's all right.
Two things.
I got Jamal Adams at 5. What are you thinking?
Two things. I'm going to get back to you, Cynthia. 2 things. Number one, the quarterbacks are going to go higher than we have them going. And my question for Cynthia is, can Corey Davis or Patrick Mahomes cover or rush the passer?
Wow. Yep. No one's proven to me that they can't. No one's proven to me that they can't.
Well, one thing is for sure.
Okay, I like it.
There were 32 picks that were rattled off this board, just 3 quarterbacks in the mix, and this was a heavily weighted defensive draft. So we know that defense wins championships. DJ cuffing up his pants, and those are not 17-year-old shoes. My mistake. 23-year-old gym shoes right there. Those are free with proof of purchase from your favorite brand of cereal. And don't forget to see how it'll actually go down at the 2017 NFL Draft. It's live from Philadelphia, PA. Watch the first round Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, only on NFL Network. We're bringing you the best for everyone. We'll see you next time. Have fun.
That's amazing.